All right, and welcome. Oh my gosh, there I am to tonight's Ask Your Guides live session. I'm so happy that you're here. I know more people might be popping in as we go along. We have like a super freaking exciting night. So I'm going to give you spill the tea on what's going to happen and start getting yourself comfortable, let yourself arrive. I was just about to light up some Palo Santo to get us some nice clear space for all that'll be here now and all that will listen later on as well. So welcome, welcome. Feel free to, how do you say that? Pop in the chat and let me know that you're here, where you're from. Tonight is going to be so fun. So getting our Palo Santo going, just some clearing vibes for everybody here tonight, everybody that's to arrive or watch later. You can receive this too. And so I've been doing Ask Your Guides for a hot minute, right? And oh, my husband's moving my camera. Look at that. I'm moving. Can you also turn up my light? Push the little button up there. This is what technical things look like on the top. Right there. Sides. There we go. Oh, that's too much. Whoa. Okay. There. We're good now. Now you can see me. Here I am. Okay. So tonight, what's going to happen? I'm going to be dropping in to do some collective channeling on our topic of choice tonight, which is creating expansion, right? Creating your expansion. And I might have named that a little bit different, but that's kind of what the vibe is, right? Is how do we create expansion in our lives and what needs to be let go of sometimes or learned or acknowledged in order for us to do that expansively, like the most possible expansion that we can um, create, right? And co create. So I see that Ms. Bronwyn is here. Thank you so much for being here, tuning in from Fountain Hills, Arizona. Oh my gosh. So I will be taking questions in a little bit. So if I can, I'll scroll back up to that. Um, what I'm going to do first is some collective channeling for creating expansion, right? For us all. And that means anybody who's here, anybody who's watching later, or finds this 5 years from now, this might be apply for you. And then I'm going to take, I have some written in questions that I'm going to answer, just a couple that are from my membership community. I always let them write their questions in advance. And that way, if they want to not be here tonight and listen later, they totally can. And that's for the cocoon. So your questions will be answered. And then I'm going to tune into questions that are asked in the chat, in our live chat as well. And what I want you to know is that if you're here now, tuning in later, and you don't ask a question, you might find that what you need to hear and that answer comes to you anyways, right? Through this message that's going to be shared tonight. So know that it's all valuable. And if something doesn't resonate with you, chuck it in the you know what bucket. Okay. That's what I ask. And so we're going to call in some sacred space. I'm going to start our collective channeling. And if you're here live, it might be a really good opportunity for you to just, if you're able to, if you're not driving, just to like ground and center with me, maybe close your eyes, taking some deep breaths. This might be the first time today that you're really able to be with yourself in stillness. We're often on the go as the wonderful human beings that we are. But we also need time to breathe. So give that to yourself now. And I'm going to ask that guides, our spirit teams of the highest vibration of light, of love, of clarity that are able to communicate through me as your channel tonight for the highest good and greatest benefit of all listening at any time, now or in the future. Be with us tonight. And our intended topic is creating expansion. Create your expansion. So I'm going to ask for further guidance on what we need to hear tonight to create expansion in whatever realm you're calling in. You might have that in mind now. Maybe you want to expand your business, like Bronwyn mentioned, your love life, the good health, positive vibes, your confidence. There is no limit to what you can expand. The most important thing that we can expand is our capacity to love. And as obvious as that might sound, for some it's needed to hear. And the way that you love might show up in a variety of avenues, whether it be your work, your mission, the way that you do the dishes, even the way that you communicate and share with others. Highlighting the transit of Venus also moving into Leo or has moved into Leo. Venus being a sign of love and beauty. And in Leo is this expansive energy, this I'm here, listen to me roar vibes. Our guides, spirit teams, ancestors, and the archangels are here to remind us of this most important task to expand our ability to love. Not just to give it, but also to receive it. And all the variety and many forms that it does, in fact, show up, noticed and unnoticed at times. So, how to create more expansion? First, they want to speak to abundance, as that's often top of mind. And the guidance for those that are going to hear this message is to pay attention to how you speak. I'm feeling a lot of energy in the throat chakra. Pay attention to how you speak about money, not just affirmations or adding some helpful positive sayings into your life, though that can be helpful and beneficial. It's how do you speak about it internally and externally? When you look at your bank account, what do you say? When you communicate with friends about your plans, is it, I don't have enough money for that? It's how are you talking about it? Kind of like if you had a friend in your life that mm, you loved and cared about and you wanted them to be around more, but every time they were away from you or out of sight, but their name came up, you would say something limiting to minimize, to shrink, to make smaller, to make yourself unworthy. How are you speaking about money? And money is not the only form of abundance we're here to share about tonight, but it is one that many are very concerned with. The abundance of time is also something highlighted here in this moment. I don't have time for that. I'm busy. I'm running late. I'm running short on time. Pay attention to these statements. I'm not telling you that perfection needs to be a part of your programming because none of us came with that. What I am saying is noticing, oh, there's me limiting my time. Oh, there's me limiting my abundance of money. Oh, there's me, not out of judgment or criticism, but awareness. Because when you're aware of it, how you're speaking about it, like you would a friend, a best friend. Don't you want money to be your best friend? Abundance of time to be your best friend? One of your best friends. You can have others. Then how do you want to talk about one of your closest friends, your allies, your support system, which is abundance of all kinds? Abundance of friendships, even, I'm seeing. If that's what you're calling in, abundance of clients, I'm seeing for others. Abundance of vacations is also coming up for somebody right now. Abundance of travel in spirit of fun. How are you talking about it? Maybe make note, even write down, what do you want to be saying about abundance? So creating expansion, not just by correcting yourself, but through awareness and intention. Creating an expansion, expansiveness in love is the next topic that came up, and not just the ways we give and receive love, but the way that we experience it as part of our true nature. Is it loving to speak up about something that's bothering you? Is it loving to speak up about something you really appreciate? Both can be true. The third area they're highlighting now, or perhaps fourth, I've lost count, is presence. Creating expansion in our ability to be here right now. I'm being reminded of a statement they shared earlier with one of my one on one clients, which was, let me be fully here now, present to my body, present to this room, present to what is, present to what I'm feeling. Creating expansion through your presence is the most vital, essential ingredient. Yes, I'm seeing somebody, like, making a cake. I don't know if somebody's making dinner right now. Somebody's making dinner somewhere, but I'm seeing ingredients being put into a bowl, and they're highlighting that expansion of presence as the key to it all, right? Your expansion of presence is also key to your expansion of the ability to give and receive love, to the ability to give and receive abundance of all kinds. So, how can you be more fully here right now in this moment, not later, not tomorrow, but right now? Do you need to stop what you're doing? Do you need to ground and connect to earth? Do you need to take a deep breath and exhale? Do you need to turn off the noise? Whatever that is, I invite you to take that step in safety and confidence now, knowing that while your guides, your ancestors, our angels, all that is, source itself is here, graciously speaking through me tonight, just as you are able to also have source speak through you, should you choose. And that our job, even mine, is to listen, not just with our ears or with our eyes, but with our whole being. And though there may be guidance about the future, what's most important this evening, this time, this place that you are watching now is that you are more here in this moment. And I believe you have all the capacity to do that with me now. There's lots of love for us here tonight. And next, I'm going to be opening my eyes. I might make sure my camera is still on. Sometimes it turns off. Oh, I'm still here. Hallelujah. And so are you. So glad you're here. And I'd love to know in the chat, perhaps, comments of watching later, what resonated with you from that. I would love to hear. And you're feel free to let me know now or later. It's all good either way. I'm just here to share, and I hope that you're able to receive. So, next thing on the docket tonight. Oh my goodness. So pumped for this. I have some written in questions. Um, I'm trying to pull them up here. And oh my goodness. Okay. So I have just a couple and then I'm going to get to some individual intuitive Q&A with those that are here tonight. So, let's see. Da, da, da. I had it and then it went away. Okay. So, one of the questions from one of the members of the cocoon was there's been a lot of chaos or blocking energy in my business when it comes to the flow of abundance. I'm following my joy and I'm creating and putting it out there. So I'm wondering, there's like a little face. What is this block and how can I fix it? Okay. And I love that question. It kind of ties into what I was just talking about moments ago, but I'm going to tune in specifically for this person and know that maybe you're here tonight and you're also feeling kind of blocked in your business or in your flow of the dollar bills, or whatever kind of bills, right? Just not the kind that you have to pay. Um, so I'm going to tune in for this person about clearing blocks to abundance, should there in fact be some for this person. And then we'll get to our next questions. Hmm. I just got kind of a wave of clearing energy for this person or any persons here now or later that are perhaps feeling blocked when it comes to receiving. I'm not sure why, but I don't like my glasses on when I channel. So as I tune into this one, I feel a lot of like kind of clenching feeling in the heart. Mm. And no alarms on the physical heart. It feels like more of the energetic sense of the heart, like a kind of like a squeeze feeling and kind of radiates through the chest a bit. So that might be, I'm getting the sense of kind of an anxiety, or anxiety might be a heavy word for this, but a sense of worry or tension here around the flow of abundance in your business. Asking where the block is, if there should there be one. I'm getting a yes, a block to receiving, to the flow of abundance in your business. And I feel it kind of like stuck here, around the third eye, kind of like forehead space, moving into almost like sinus area. Kind of the energy is like I kind of like can't see. What I'm getting from you anyways is it's like I can't see the way forward fully. Um, Not that you're not taking steps, like you said, you're putting things out there, but it's kind of like, how do I, yeah, how do I see what I see in my mind's eye and see it in my reality? And I know that's the essence of the question, but you're asking, what's the block? It's here. And I'm going to ask about mm, thoughts, beliefs, ideas, or physical practices that can help clear this energy, knowing that your guides are here to support you now in this moment, whenever you listen to this, when you're sleeping, all the fun times that they can support you in clearing. Okay. They're saying it's also here. So there's, how are you talking about your business? Are you speaking about it kind of like, okay. Yes. Okay. Lots of information coming together all at once, which is always fun. So it's kind of like you know what you want again, but how do I bring it in here? Like into the here, the 3D, 4D, whatever 5D we're in at this time. But the main key is, yeah, so there's doubt here. And how am I speaking about my business? Not as much am I like sharing, am I posting on social media, but how am I talking about my business? Am I limiting it? Am I speaking to it in terms of growth? How am I talking to my business? I'm even seeing. Um, there's that. And if you're here tonight and maybe observing how you're talking about your business or your work, how do you talk about it? I also see you kind of like, I see you calling it in, like speaking what you want into life. And then later it's kind of like this frequency of doubt is what I'm seeing. Kind of like second guessing yourself, speaking about it as like, oh, I don't know if anybody's going to come to this, or like, I don't know. Right? So think about what statements you're making to and about your business. That's huge. And if you want to go deeper on this, you know where to find me when it comes to getting a one-on-one session and we can tear it apart. But yes, um, I see essential oils for you. I just saw you kind of like anointing yourself. And the statement is, I can do this. Like, I'm doing this. I've got this. Any type of statement when an empowering statement that clears all doubt. Yes, essential oils. They're saying you will know which ones you can use. I can make suggestions now, but it feels like this is something that you're very aware about. And if you're not, write me later and we will tune into that. Okay. But I feel like you've got this. All right. Mm. Ooh, yes. Hello, Dawn. Love all the questions presented. Absolutely. All right. If you're here now, take a deep breath and let it out. Okay. And we send you lots of love for your awesome business, and we see it coming together with grace. Okay. And then we've got, I'm going to go for one more of these written in questions for now. And then we'll get to questions from people that are here. And if I still have time, then I'll get to more written in questions. So this one is, what words of encouragement do my guides have for me this fall? I love that question. That's so good. Oh, yeah. Words of encouragement. They are so good with that. And it's not fall yet. It's still summer. But today definitely felt kind of fallish. Just side note, I'm in Western Colorado and it was raining and thundering. It still is raining and lightning. And I was like, yeah, fall, let's go. Colorado. That's a thing, just saying. So we're going to tune in for that question. What words of encouragement do my gods have for me? I'm going to say right now and into this fall. And this might be for you too. So don't throw it away unless you're like, that is not for me. And that's okay. I'm sensing energy in the shoulder, not top of shoulder, back, lower shoulder blade. Left side. And they're talking about not just about the actual physical healing that's happening for you right now when it comes to this area, but also about the energetic healing in the feminine's capacity to be flexible, right? Because I just saw an image of you kind of like stretching. So stretching could be helpful. Listen to your own body. However, the note I'm getting from them is encouraging flexibility is the big thing. Asking about what? Mm. It feels like being flexible with yourself, kind of like my intention was to do this in whatever I'm focusing on. And I'm noticing that I'm actually more called to working on this over here. So I'm going to give myself the flexibility of focus. Yeah. So if you find that in your day, I'm not talking about like ADHD type of, do you know what I mean? Distracted sense of focus. Speaking from experience. But I'm talking about flexibility in what lights you up, right? What inspires you. And even if you, unlike what I was just talking about moments ago, about how you speak, about your business, it's or your work, your sacred mission, and then not doubting. It's more so about, hey, I said I was going to do this. And actually, my highest excitement right now is to, um, mm, I'm seeing water for you. Like to go put my feet in the water, right? Or like go take a bath or whatnot. So, and it's not just around self care, it feels kind of like multi layered. I'm seeing just overall the essence of flexibility is key. Words of encouragement. They've said you're doing it. Just showed me you kind of like hiking, like with you might not actually physically do this, but I'm seeing the image of like somebody with those like hiking sticks or I don't know what they're called, so make fun of me later, it's fine. But I'm seeing you kind of like scaling a mountain, right? In essence. And yeah, so they're like, it's okay to sit down and breathe and take a break, but you're on the right mountain. You are going the right direction. You're not lost. And you may already know this, they're saying. However, they just want you to hear that you're like on track, you're on time, and it's all here for you, right? Unfolding exactly as it should be. And I see as the only thing to dial in is that flexibility, right? As, oh, maybe one day I want to go sit under this tree. Freaking do it. Okay. You won't lose your way because guess what? You're on the mountain. You're on the right mountain too. The right mountain for you. And get some stretching for the shoulder because it wants to move. You might already be doing that. Okay. All right. Mm. Thank you all for listening to that beautiful question and the awesome channeled response we got. I know these wonderful women from my community will probably be leaving comments later, so check them out if you happen to see them. Because I would love to know, hey, is that on for you? How are you feeling? So now we've got some time for our written in questions. And if you've just recently joined, feel free to pop in the chat. Let me know you're here, where you're from. And I'm going to take our very first written in question. I am going to put my glasses on. Oh, there's Miss Sarah Eden. Hello and welcome. So glad that you're here. And you're right on time for our write in questions. So I'm going to start with the one from Conscious Ketamine Coaching Academy, who has like a little number one fan crown, which is so cute. I love it. I think YouTube does that if you're like the first person to comment or something or in the chat. Anyways, details. So it says, hi, Christine, tuning in from Fountain Hills, Arizona. All my Arizona peeps in the house say, hey, or put a little cactus in the chat. Love that you're here. And it says, I'm at an exciting time in my business. Like, yes. Oh my goodness. That's so good. What do your guides, not my guides. Love the cactuses. Yes. Cacti. I got distracted. What do I'm going to say my guides say about the future of my mission and purpose? Whoa. Sounds like somebody's on fire in a good way. Bless all the fires that be at this time. I'm going to tune into that. And then if whoever wants to go next, write your question in the chat while I'm doing this here channeling, and that way I can get to you next. Okay. And we've got time, so I could do a couple here tonight. So we're going to tune into what do your guides have to say about the future of your mission and purpose? Love that things are going great. Hmm. Interesting thing, it just started raining kind of, like, hard. Um, so it feels like kind of like a downpour of, do you know what I mean? Like, water is life. It's like blessings. It's healing. It's cleansing. So what you're doing, it feels like, is life-giving, healing, cleansing, blessing. The mission, I see you, I just saw you with the microphone. I saw you teaching, like, kind of like talking to people microphone-wise. And it might not be this kind, it might be this kind on the side, right? The cool microphones. I see you teaching. Um, I also see, I'll talk about the teaching in a second, but I also see kind of like training, like workbook uh style offerings at these, it feels like larger type events. It feels like a seminar, like you're teaching a lot of people in one room at one time. And it's not just you, but it feels like you're kind of like keynoting larger groups of speaking, teaching, yes. Training, yes. And inspiring, I see that. I see you also kind of like, there's an essence of travel in this, but it feels almost like relocating as well. Like you might choose to live somewhere different than you currently do. Kind of like in order to be more, it feels like have a more private existence as you have this public facing training and not like hiding from people, but it feels like more of a nature like retreat. Mm. Oh, okay. I also see within that space, or perhaps a different one as an option. It's kind of like, do you envision having your own kind of like retreat training, like somewhere, maybe not your house, but close to you, that could be like kind of like a place that you regularly do more immersive, not just one-on-one, but like small group trainings versus like these bigger ones. So there's kind of like this higher level training, widespread, inspiring teaching. And then there's like, okay, you guys, this group of 20 people ish, maybe a little more than 20. Ooh, it's really raining now. That you're like, okay, I'm gonna bring you in and we're gonna do the work, right? And you're really elevating their ability to do the work. And I love this. Um, I'm also feeling some energy around the left side of the head. And okay, I'm not sure if you've had it doesn't feel physical, but if you've had any, no, they're saying it's not physical. Okay. So, oh, okay, left brain. There you go. So, if you've found yourself lately more in your left brain, it feels a little heavier. It feels like, yeah, like pressure, tension in the left side, which is our ability to like categorize, organize, plan, put things together. in like a very logical way. So do you feel like you're in a lot of logic lately, or do you feel a balance of right and left side, right? And sometimes we're in seasons of what oh my gosh, Jill Bolte Taylor calls character one, right? And it might not be just character one, honestly, but yeah, it feels like a lot of detail and concentration on how do I expand? How do I which is our topic tonight, right? So what they're encouraging for you is if that resonates is to kind of find where do I express that right side creativity in a non mission related way that might it could involve your mission, but it feels like there's this element of needing to almost like play or be creative in a non-demanding way. Like I'll share for me, mine, I used to be like 100,000% anti video game for like video games. I hated them. Like, and yes, hate is the word. I really just resented video games. And then my now husband taught me how to play them. And I was like, that's a waste of time, right? Until I started playing this game of usually about once a year. It's not very often, but it's very creative and it allows me to create, right? Design wise on a level that's there's no expectations, there's no rules except for don't get, anyways, I won't go into the game. Big thing is that I get to create without expectation. So what they're asking of you is where can you create without expectation? Where can it be fun and feel like play? Even if your business is exciting and it's fun and that's great, how do you step out and create and play? And that could literally be dancing, it could be coloring books, it could be painting, making some really good food. There's some expectation around food though. We want it to taste good. So something with no expectation. Okay. So I would love to hear from you, Miss Conscious Ketamine Coaching Academy, how you're feeling about that, what resonated with you, and yeah, so excited for your expansion. That's so cool about the microphone. You're launching a podcast. Oh my gosh. Yes, I'm also using my left brain. Like you said, I hear you on creativity. Thank you. If you want to take it a step further, you could be like, I'm committing to, um, I don't know, coloring, or you don't have to do this. I'm just saying. If you want the world, whoever watches this now or later, to see you in that capacity of stepping into the right brain, having some creativity, you can share what you're going to do here, and we will freaking cheer you on. And yes, yay for the podcast, girl. Send me a link. I would love to hear and do the things. I think that's awesome and good for you. Woo. I love the little house too, or not little house, but like the retreat center or like place that you were immersive in. That looked stunning. So I'd love to hear later if that's something that's in your mind's eye because it sounded really freaking awesome to me. So we're going to take our next question. I've got time for probably like two-ish more. And so if you have a question tonight, this is our intuitive Q&A section. So you can drop one in the chat. And ooh, you're committed to coloring in a beautiful coloring book that your partner gave you. Oh, okay. Got to do it. I see you as totally rocking that coloring book hardcore. So any other questions that you want some intuitive guidance from your guides, from your spirit team, from what I've been told I channel as the voice of I am. So, and I have some other written in questions. So if we don't get one there, I will be answering some of these. Um, so I'm going to give you guys a second. You might be typing and be like, oh my God, don't go away. So, fun little fact while we give it a second is that I have been doing these on, what is it called? Zoom for a hot minute for, I think, the last year almost in my community and for people on my email list and all that stuff, the Ask Your Guides nights. And you're welcome for sharing my gifts with you. I'm so excited. It's so fun to do. So I've been doing them that way. And somebody asked me, like, hey, why don't you do them on YouTube Live? And I was like, okay, I guess. And then I found out that in order to have guests on camera with me, which is the funnest way to do these intuitive Q&As, because then I can actually hear your questions, I can hear your responses, you can kind of interact with it a little more. In order to do that on YouTube Live, I need 1,000 subscribers, which if I filled a room or not a room, a building with 1,000 people, I'd be like, oh my God, that's a lot of people. But on the internet, it's kind of not a lot of people, I guess. So at least that's what I've heard. So if you haven't already subscribed, I ask that you take a second and hit the subscribe button whenever you feel like it. Not to be cheesy, but I'd love to bring you on camera for these. So if we can get to that 1,000, I think I'm at like 58 guys. So I have a little ways to go. I've been on YouTube for years, but just occasionally whenever I felt like it. So goal is consistency now. So thank you for showing up with me. All right. Smash that subscribe button. Yes, smash it, says Sarah. Smash it. Okay. So I haven't gotten any other questions in here. So I'm going to go to one person said they can't type in the chat. I have no idea why you can't type in the chat. None. I have no idea. So, oh, maybe. I think I did that wrong, you guys. So if you've been trying to type and you haven't been able to, try typing now because I think it was only letting top fans type in there, maybe. So, anyways, bear with me. I'm learning. It's fun. So, other questions that we had tonight. I'm trying to get to them. It's gonna take 1 second. Okay. So, one person that I know is here tonight asked, do my guides have any suggestions on where is the best location for my sanctuary? And is there any recommendation around timing? And you guys, I happen to know what the sanctuary is that this person is talking about that's in my membership. And I'm really excited to tune into this. It's going to be so good. Yes, lots of claps from Miss Conscious Ketamine Coaching Academy. I want to say your name, but it's not on here, so I don't want to dox you. So, anywho. So, I'm going to tune into that. Yay, Sanctuary for sure. And see if I get any hits on where and when. These are great questions. And if anybody else has a question and you're able to type in the chat, hopefully you are. Because, yeah, I think I had that a little backwards. Then feel free to type another question or two in there, and I'll see if I can get to them before we are done tonight. Okay. Sanctuary. And yes. I'm going to take a moment to ground back down, to breathe. You might want to as well. I'm feeling for you lots of head energy tonight. This is interesting. And there was heart energy too, so combination. But I'm feeling for you, there's kind of like this feeling of like focus. Like setting your sights out for what you want. but there's a little bit of feeling of pressure. So you might find yourself maybe pressuring your focus about finding the where and the when. And it might not be like heavy. It doesn't feel like super painful, but there's a little bit of like kind of like, oh, I got to pull this off kind of vibe. Um, it feels like you've also recently gotten some downloads about this project, this mission that are trying to anchor mm, into your stomach, like into your place, your solar plexus, your place of power. It's like trying to digest in a way. I'm seeing the information kind of like coming through the crown, through the head, as it often does for many. But for you, there's kind of like I'd be really curious to know your human design as well based on this, but I know they don't give me answers to every question I ask. Otherwise, I would be like Google and that would be a problem. So, but I'm seeing that the way that you kind of like unpack what you receive as downloads, as guidance, as direction has to be processed through the solar plexus. And that takes a little bit of time and it takes consciousness around like how you nurture and nourish the body. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of like this feeling of being pregnant is what I'm feeling. Like, don't worry, I don't see any actual babies. Just saying that the vibe is kind of like I'm holding this thing, this creation, this beautiful creation I'd like to birth. And I'm trying to figure out how to get it out. We know where it comes out of. Okay. Kids, ask your moms. I'm not going to tell you. But mm, yeah, it's kind of like it needs a little bit of time to digest and process the information that you've received. I will tune in to the where and the when, but know that that information is actually already in you. It's like I feel it. Okay, I know I'm being a little bit funny, but it's kind of like if you ate a big burrito and you were like, "Oh my god." Right? Um it takes you a minute to process that. So, I'm going to check in with the when first because that seems more alive in this moment. They're saying they just held up the number 2 and then I saw years. So within 2 years, I see it like and yes, you can speed up your timeline if that's a question, but I see it kind of like I'm seeing a like entrance to the property, like kind of like a arched gate, if you would, or like archway that by that 2-year time frame, you're like putting the name up there, right? Like it's officially official. Um, they're acknowledging, yes, it can be done in stages. It feels like the physical location, because that's what the question was pointed at, is kind of like this. I see a little bit over a year or around a year, I will say, like within 11 to 13 months from right now. It's kind of like this, and there might be like a purchasing process or a, do you know what I mean? A transaction that needs to work itself out within there. But their guidance is to actually to see yourself kind of like signing the papers, right? Not just for the property itself, but for the business itself. Um, Knowing that you'll be like fully launch ready for like your core, I'm seeing core offerings within that 2-year timeline from now. So it might be like some building, some, do you know what I mean? Like organizing, structuring, cleaning up, getting all the things together, and then bam. It feels a little bit earlier than now. So maybe a little bit less than 2 years. I'm seeing it feels okay. In my head, we're already in September, just so you know. It feels like August, earlier August, 2 years from now, which would be 2027, that you're kind of like, here we are. That feels so good. Oh my gosh. Yes, you're feeling some pressure to make your dreams happen. Okay. And guess what? We're the oracle, right? That our dreams come through. We don't, mm, I don't want to try to tell people they can be lazy or whatever, right? But like, yes, yes, time needs to pass for this project to get underway. And you need to digest the burrito, right? Which is this project. And then it's kind of like, oh, yeah, oh my God, it needs to be over here. Um, they're telling me you already know where it is. And they're messing with me a little bit about longitude and latitude, like kind of like the little numbers and stuff. And it's like already there. It's already within you. And you are also on the right mountain. Just as I was speaking to the other person, like, yes, yes, this, and yes, the direction you're feeling. And as this unfolds and digests, you're just going to feel so much clearer about it and less that energy and more like, wow, okay, okay. Oh, so excited for you. This is wonderful. I'm going to take a deep breath in. You can do so if you'd like with me. So exciting. Yes. Thank you for the beautiful question, Sarah. I love it. Okay. And yeah, look at all these awesome, creative, like freaking entrepreneur, bad A. I'm going to say women. There might be some men here too. And you're also badass and creative and are so welcome here too. Just saying, lots of ladies up in here doing some good stuff. Make myself a little easier to see. And I'm going to go a little bit over time. So if anybody's freaking out, know that this is a free country. Um, okay. Old wounds and triggers are coming up, says Dawn. What do the guides say in that regard? Ooh, okay. Yes, we can go into old wounds and triggers and see what's going on for you. Bringing in that cleansing energy of the rain. I just saw an image of you, I'm gonna put in quotes, kind of like, there's a feeling of, like, kind of banging back to the head. What's going on with our heads, you guys? Kind of like a banging your head on the wall feeling. Not that you're actually physically doing that, hopefully not, because ouch. Ooh, I'm feeling some clearing for you already. But it's kind of like this, I'm just gonna say it because it's YouTube and not national TV. What the fuck energy of like, ugh. Um, so maybe some frustration with self or others around this old wound, this old trigger kind of coming up. And yeah, kind of like the mm, beating the head up against the wall around like, how do I move forward? Because you might feel like you're not because it came up, right? These old things came up, and you might be like, ugh, right? Why? And I'm being dramatic in a sense as I share this. It might be more subtle for you, okay? And this is judgment free zone. So no matter what it looks like, how it's showing up, old wounds and triggers, anybody could hear and receive this mm, that you're actually not going in a circle, I'm seeing. It's not a going backwards. Yes. Is it a wound from the past? Absolutely. Is it another layer of I don't like using another layer of healing because we're not onions, you guys. Okay. But it's kind of like another mm, salve or a balm that you would put on what felt like a scar. But when somebody like, if you have a scar, I have a C-section scar. And if somebody was like, I wouldn't, okay, I don't even want to say this, but if somebody was like, you know, pressing very hard on that area, it would still hurt because scar tissue, yo. So it's kind of like this old wound has some scar tissue for you. And I'm seeing it kind of being massaged out of your system more fully through the triggering of it. Okay. So it's like, how do we get that residue out? And they're actually sharing that massage or some type of physical body work, whether you do it yourself to yourself on the areas that you feel the trigger coming up, whether it be the heart, um, trying to feel where it is for you. I feel actually some energy around the ribs for you. So, like, actually giving the body some love around where you're feeling the trigger coming up or the old wound. Kind of like get that scar tissue out. Ooh, I feel it in the left knee. I just got a really sharp kind of pain there. So, left side, feminine, knee stability, right? Flexibility, kind of like our ability to move, right? About in this world. So I'd be curious if the block is coming up around any of those areas for you. The way forward, feeling some energy on the jaw, almost like it feels like there's something you're wanting to say or like yell. I just saw like yelling energy. Um, like, do you want to tell somebody to F off or like, what is this? Or like a boundary. It feels like no, you know what I mean? Like, no, this is what I deserve or this is what I need. So looking at the past self that had these wounds or these triggers, ask her, "Okay, I'm here now. What do you wish I would do about this?" Ooh, that pain is really coming up in the knee. Are you feeling the left knee, Dawn? What's going on with that? Yeah, so my guidance through the divine here, the voice of I am, is what does that past self actually want you to say or do differently? Mm. Yeah, I got some in the knee. It feels like it's weird it's in the left knee. Hmm. It feels like, I don't know, do you wanna kick somebody's butt? Not physically, right? But, like, do you wanna kick somebody out of your life? That's the feeling I just got. So, I'd be curious to know for you, what is actually going on? You don't have to share anything here that you don't want to. This is all sacred space, and we know it's on the internets, so might not want to say much about that. Um, yeah, I do see you speaking. It's almost like, what do you need to say? And if you feel like you can't say it, because there are times, you guys, where maybe we are really triggered or hurt about something or an old wound comes up. I've had one come up recently that I was like, right? And you might not feel safe to actually speak the thing to perhaps the person that might really need to hear it. And you might feel like, and this is just my own learning, but it's like, what do you want to accomplish by speaking, right? What do you want to see happen? And sometimes we just need to say the thing. Say the weird thing, like that viral, um, that's my sign language for real, or like short is like scrolling. So if you feel safe, Dawn, to speak up to the people that need to hear it, your truth, when it comes to this trigger or this old wound, then freaking go for it. If you don't, if you're just like, oh, maybe I can't talk about this, then talk about it with somebody that you absolutely trust, or speak that out loud, record it, write it on paper, burn it in the fire. You know all the ways. Get it out of your system and massage the energetic scar tissue where the wound is actually coming up for you and your body. I know we love the tapping, right? I love Brad Yates. He does all that tapping. I'm not doing a great job of it right now, but we also have that as a tool, okay? So, if you feel like chiming in the chat, I'm still going to be here for a few, so feel free to let me know what is up, all right? And what I want you guys to know is, okay, I might need contacts so I don't have to like take these on and off all the time, but I like glasses. So, anywho, what I'm going to say is that I'm looking at my next date for Ask Your Guides, and it is Tuesday, September 9th. Oh my god, same time, same channel. It was 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain. I'm in Mountain Time. And you guys are so welcome to come for that. Again, the goal is to be able to serve you by channeling the wisdom of your guides, of the voice of I am, of all that is, so that you're able to embody your purpose. And it doesn't have to be work, y'all, or business or entrepreneurship, but that is my mission here through Ask Your Guides, is whether your purpose is tending to the sanctuary like Sarah, or to being on stage with that microphone, or on the podcast, like freaking do it. But it might also mean being a good mom to your family, or your purpose could be taking care of a beautiful garden and making food for others. It's not limited to what we do in sense of creativity. So Dawn says, yes, it's hard to move forward and feeling safe to speak up, but definitely want to kick and scream in a lot of ways. Heck yeah. Have that toddler moment, girl. I know this is my choice to see it from new lenses than I had in the past. Yes, massage it out and care for that body. Oh, okay. Also got a comment that I could get some of those half moon readers and look like a much hotter female Dumbledore. I probably won't do that. I probably won't. But I could surprise you and show up with some cool glasses. So I told you about my mission, why I'm here to do these sessions. I hope you'll join me in 2 weeks for this awesome event. And remember to subscribe, because eventually I'll bring you on camera and that'll be super fun, right? Also, I have a special going on for one-on-one virtual intuitive readings. For you can save $85 if you book by September 22nd, fall equinox. This was my birthday special. I'm just doing a little promo in case you feel called to book that session. Okay. And otherwise, I will always be here with love, with light to serve you in asking your guides. Thank you all and have a beautiful night. Much love. And I know it's not yoga class, but namaste. Okay. Good night. And oh, thank you, Sarah and everybody. I think the chat will be going for a few minutes. Okay.